I think we're gonna get started. Okay. So if we haven't never met, my name is Quazzy. I'll be leading the class today. I'm so excited that we're doing it in this way. We still connecting, maybe even more so because we got more space and everybody's location is available now. We're gonna start how we always do. And if you haven't taken class with us, just know if you ever need to take a break, if you ever need to modify, you're more than welcome to do so. If there's any like technical issue going on, you can hit me up in the chat. I see it right here. So it should be good. We're gonna start off in the child's pose, okay? So child's pose, you can bring your hips to your heels, bring your forehead to the mat. And it's up to you if you want to let your elbows rest on the floor. This can help the shoulders. If you want the hands to be by the side or in front, it's really up to you. These small decisions you make, they can be unique to you as a practitioner, and it can have a big impact on you letting this really be your practice. And as you know, the teachers always change. The yoga is pretty consistent in the notion that this hour, you can breathe, you can express yourself, you can move freely, and you can allow things to come up across in a spectrum. However you perceive the things to come up, it's valid. And you know, if we stay open, they can continue to grow. They can continue to evolve. And that's a lot of what we're looking to do here. Okay. We're going to start with some collective breaths to get things going. With an SH sound, empty your breath. Shush it out. Get as empty as you can. Press it out through the lungs. Right. Once you find what feels like a very bottom for you and toward an exhale, live in that space for a moment. And allow yourself to breathe in big. Breathe in full and let it rise. With an HA, let it go. And you can allow those HAs to travel for so long, they start to get foggy. They might have this big sound, and as you empty, and as you empty, the sound may trail off, the breath can continue, and you can start to go deeper and deeper into these layers. These physical layers, these energetic layers, even the emotional layers. Feel free to take up space. Feel free to breathe sporadically, spontaneously. Now more than ever, it's really your breath, your time. Okay. If you want to find a little bit of small movement, start to roll your forehead from side to side. Rolling the forehead from side to side, helping to loosen the back of the neck. And let this travel. Imagine that by rolling your forehead, you're relaxing your shoulders. You're allowing your breath to move up and down the body a little bit simpler. It's almost like you're taking out the traffic jams. It's like a subway ride with no traffic, no delays, just free flowing breath. If you haven't already done so, start to tap your fingertips a little bit onto the floor. Just give yourself a little bit of sensation in the hands and the palms. Allow them to walk forward. Walk the fingertips forward, 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 so much so your elbows lift off the mat. We're gonna take one more collective breath, and these can be ha's, these can be hums, these can be flutters of the lips, whatever is floating your boat today. Okay, let's start with an exhale. Just get really, really empty, press that breath out. Take a big, full breath in. And with an exhale, let it go. Great, can feel it from here. Let's come into tabletop. Shoulders on top of wrists. Okay? Once you're in that tabletop position, spread your hands out. And almost like a swing set, just go a little forward and backward. Let your hips go in front of your knees and then back behind your knees. Let your shoulders go in front of your wrists and back behind your wrists. And this can be something you do with your eyes closed. If you know the movement, if you want to move intuitively. If you have certain landmarks in your house that kind of give you a perspective, you might use them as well, such as in cat-cows looking up towards the ceiling. You might find a point that you can see. Looking down, rounding your spine in that cat pose, there might be a point that you can see. You can continue to develop your movement, whether it be these cat-cow tilts, whether it be that kind of swing set movement, whether it's a combination of both. This is just a moment to kind of rock and unlock. Rock and unlock spaces in the joints and the shoulders and the hips, places that could use some opening. It might feel nice to roll the head, roll the wrist, or roll the shoulders, roll the hips. If you want to turn your wrist the opposite direction, this is another way to kind of open that front space, especially if you've been doing a lot of typing, a lot of texting, kind of open that front space in the forearms. And we're just going to spend a few moments here, just feeling for the breath, feeling for the movement, and allowing there to just be space, allowing there to be space to flow. Okay? Rather than look at what might be a limitation of space, trying to look at where there's abundance of space, where there's room to stretch, where there's room to expand. If you happen to bump into something, whether it be in your house or even emotionally something comes up, continue to breathe, continue to flow, continue to go on this way. Okay? Over the next maybe 1 or 2 breaths, start to take your movement from these cat-cows into downward facing dog. Tuck the toes, lift the hips, push the hips back, and drop the head heavy. This can be a moment to find a little bit of movement, pedaling out the feet, right foot, left foot. You can also give yourself a chance to kind of shake the head loose. Yes, yes, no, no. Just giving yourself a little bit of free form space. Now might be a good time to flutter out to the lips. Might be a good time to shake out the head. What's today? Wednesday? Having a good Wednesday. Maybe shake it out. Letting go of negativity, self-doubt. Just shaking that out. Good. Shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it. Lift your heels up really high here. Heels as high as they can. And with that, let your hips go high. Push your hips towards the back of the wall. Take a big breath in. Fill it up in the back of the legs. On your exhale, relax your heels down towards the floor. Look for a stretch in the back of the hamstrings. Keep pressing your heels towards the back of the room. Look forward towards your hands. Come into an upper push-up plank. Shoulders on top of wrists. Okay. Take a moment to draw your navel in. Press your hands down. If there's a little bit of heat, don't run from it. See if you can balance it out by keeping your breath steady and stable. Push through your knuckles, push through your fingertips. Lift out of your armpits. Okay, we're gonna hold here for about 10. Keep your core active for 9. Keep pushing your heels back for 8. Keep your head going forward for 7. You're not alone for 6. Lift out of armpits for 5. Take one more inhale for 4. Take an exhale for 3. Push it all the way out. Take one more big inhale. And then you exhale back to downward facing dog. Hips high to the sky. Awesome. Lift your right leg up, right leg long, and start to move your right leg freely. Circle out through your hip. Point the toes, flex the toes, roll it around a little bit. Shake out the leg. You can shake it like an OG something. You can shake it like a salt shaker. Just make some movement for yourself. If you have a lot of range of motion, you might end up flipping your dog over. If you're looking for something simple in your day, it could be as simple as pointing the toes and flexing the toes. Good, coming back to center, extend your right leg up high to the sky. On the exhale, release it down towards the floor. Yeah, let's do the left side as well. Lift the left leg up, left leg gets to move freely. Point the toes, flex the toes, roll it around. Thankfully, we have 2 sides to work with. Gives a chance to explore. Let your hands evenly press into the floor. Let your neck relax. Let your left leg guide you. Guide the movement here. Cool. Take an inhale. Extend the left leg back. On an exhale, release it down to the floor. Bend your knees. Look forward. Take a walk to the front of your mat. Step by step. Day by day. Forward fold. Once you're in that forward fold, let everything about it be in the intention of letting go. the head letting go. And with that, the ears, the neck, the jaw, and the arms relax. With that, the shoulders getting to drape forward. You might even rock your weight a little forward and backward, and look for those places of tipping forward, and then your toes catch you. You have the toes to support you. Tipping backward, and your heels catch you. You have the heels to support you. If you happen to wobble or fall, do not worry. You're safe. You're at home or someone's home. You can always pick yourself back up. Give yourself a big, full breath in. And on the exhale, let something go. The hands or the head or even something you've already let go, let it be let go again. From here, half lift, hands on shins or thighs, roll the shoulders back. Look forward, almost like you're leaning over an edge, and then release. Bend your knees slightly as you fall. We'll do it a couple more times. Inhale, half lift, straight legs, straight spine, and slightly bend the knees as you release. Forward fold, let it go. Still keeping that rocking of weight back and forward. Start to roll yourself up, vertebrae by vertebrae. One thing stacks on top of the next. Moving slow like honey until you're at the top. Once you're at the top, right shoulder, you can shrug it up. Squeeze your right fist. Take a big breath in. And exhale, let it relax. Left shoulder, shrug it up. Squeeze your left fist. Let the muscles really bulge. Take an inhale. And then exhale, let it go. Both shoulders, you can shrug them up. You can squeeze your face. You can squeeze your fist. Inhale, all the tension ever. Fill it up. And then exhale, let it go. Letting all the tension go out. Let your palms face the front of the room. Let this really open up through the chest. And also allow this to be some open body language. Connected in some way. Good. Inhale, arms up towards the ceiling, our first mountain pose. Big moment. Even in these spaces that we have to be in, we get to get into this mountain pose. We can reach for what we need to reach for. We can still be big. We can still take up space. Trust your heels to carry your weight. Let your toes relax. And allow your kneecaps to firm up, to engage through your quad muscles. Try to imagine the line of your hips. Think of your waistline. Slide it underneath your belly button, keeping the hips stacked underneath. Look up towards your hands, open through the throat. Really reach your arms up. It's okay if your shoulders come up too. Start to take a back bend. Look to what you can see behind you. And then when you're ready to release, fold forward. You can come down with soft knees as you let it hang heavy. Let's do this a couple more times. Inhale, reach up, go all the way back. And with your exhale, carry it back down and forward, forward, forward. Let's do it again. Inhale, reach up, go all the way back. And then on your exhale, you carry it down, forward, fold. Final one here. Going forward, upward, and backward. All these movements almost like one. Breath combined. Following it into that fold, letting it go. In this forward fold, just give yourself a little hump day dance. You can shake out the head, pull out the feet, sway the arms, whatever the case is. Take a half lift to lengthen, long spine. And exhale to let it drop down, forward fold. Step back, upper push-up plank, shoulders on top of wrists. Core is super duper active. Take all the time you need to set up the plank. Take an inhale to really lift out of your armpits. And on your exhale, lower down halfway, try to run. Look forward in front of you, untuck your toes, lift your chest up, upward facing dog. You can look over to your right shoulder, look over to your left shoulder. Take out any kinks in the spine. Once your head's back on straight, tuck your toes, hips high, downward facing dog. Right? Throughout class, no matter what we do, right? Even outside of class, no matter what we do, there can be this awareness that now I inhale, now I exhale. Sometimes we call the mantra, I am, period. I am. This is me today and all my different ways, okay? Look forward in front of you. Take a walk or hop to the front of your mat, forward fold one more time. Kind of repeating the process, feeling for what you've already done. Take a half lift, big breath in, long spine, shoulders back. It's almost like an up dog. Exhale, let it drop down, forward fold, let it go. Inhale, reach all the way up towards the ceiling, go all the way back. One more smooth, fluid movement. Carry down into a forward fold, letting it drop. Inhale, half lift, big breath in. And on the exhale, just let it go, forward fold. Step back, upper push-up plank. Lower down halfway, chaturanga. Upward facing dog, into downward facing dog. Long spine in that down dog. Really push your chest towards your thighs. Okay? Let's do it one leg at a time. Inhale your right leg up towards the ceiling, right leg long. On your exhale, step it through between your hands. Pause there for a moment. If it feels good to rock the weight a bit back and forth, rock the weight back and forth. Make sure you have enough space to get your foot between your hands. So if you have to crawl your toes forward, you can crawl your toes forward. Okay? All right, we're going to step forward to the front of the mat. Look forward, let your left foot meet your right foot, forward fold. Let it hang heavy. Take an inhale, half lift, big breath in, long spine. And on the exhale, release down, forward fold. One more time with that back bend. This is the last time we're going this way. Reach up, go back. Take it all the way down, forward fold. Inhale, lengthen your spine, half lift. And on the exhale, let it go. Good, step your legs back. If you want to hop back, you can hop back, travel for that flow. We'll meet back in downward facing dog. Cool, and also as we move, notice places in the body that we're warming up. Notice places in the body that is getting repetitive movement. Notice places in the body that might be getting some movement that it hasn't got until this moment today. Let's take a collective breath. Exhale the air all the way out. Take a big full breath in. And exhale, let it go. Good. Make sure both hands pushing down evenly. Extend your left leg up towards the ceiling, left leg long. Look forward, step the left foot through between the hands. Again, you can rock the boat forward and backward. Give yourself some space to go up and down into the hips. As you rock the way back and forth, you might also look up and down with your spine, creating a little bit of almost like a cat-cow movement with your spine as you go back and forth. Good. Next time you look forward in front of you, we're going to step to the front of the mat. Right foot meets left, forward fold. Okay. Pausing here, feeling for feet, hips width distance, about 2 fists in between. We come into our first chair pose, Utkatasana. Bend your knees, hit the hips low, arms up towards the ceiling. Just a brief moment in chair pose to again feel for where the rocking sensation is. You can rock backwards, you notice the heels will catch you, knowing that you can sit backwards. You can rock forward, your toes will catch you. Noticing your toes can help anchor you as well. Allow your hips to come as low as your knees if possible. Nice. Bring the arms a little bit by the ears. Nice, Tyler. And if you can extend through your elbows, extend through your elbows and extend through the fingertips. We're going to take one more big full breath in. And on the exhale, let it drop down, forward fold, let it go. Good. Those are big. Chair poses, no joke. If you want to take a moment here, interlace your fingers behind your spine. Roll your fist forward. Let your head drop further. Just give yourself some extra forward weight. Again, this is really when you can trust your toes to catch you. Bringing the weight forward. Toes might even push into the mat so much they're changing colors, your toenails. Really rolling that way forward. Take one more big breath in. On your exhale, release your hands. Put some weight into the heels as you half lift. Big breath in. And on the exhale, let it release once again. Step or hop back. Travel for a flow. Up dog into down dog. We did for everybody. I think this part of class can be exciting. Get the heart rate going. Get into your flow. Let's do some core work. Lift your right leg up towards the ceiling. Bring your right knee to right elbow, let it tap. Marissa's laughing. Inhale, right leg up towards the ceiling. Bring it to your left elbow, let it tap. We won't do too much core work at stressful times. Inhale, right leg up towards the ceiling. Knee to forehead. This is the last one. If you can get it to touch, please make it touch. Nice. Inhale, right leg long. Step your right foot through for warrior one. Right foot through between your hands, back heel down to the floor. A classic pose here, warrior one. Without having to overthink it, just feel for your seat. Feel for a little bit of depth into your hips. If you got to get a few bounces in, you can take a few bounces. Feel for active reach through your fingertips. Right? And this can be really when you use your discernment. If it feels like you're sitting low, then you are sitting low. There's no absolute truth here. It's just your experience. If you feel like you're reaching high, then you are reaching high. Right? And if within that experience you feel like you want to sit lower or reach higher, then explore that movement as well. Give yourself a moment to imagine you're the strong warrior, sitting low into your pose, firm and grounded. And at the same time, there's a lightness to your practice, a sense of you're playing a warrior. You're putting on the role of a warrior. But in that same way that you're putting on the role of it, underneath all that armor, you have your breath, you have your joy, and this is not going to be taken away or altered in any way. Let's take an exhale, clear the breath all the way out. Press it out. This might be a high, this might be a hum, this might be through the nose. This is your breath. Use your next inhale to reach up, go up, and even back. Let it stretch you further. On your next exhale, release. Hands down to the floor, step back, and travel for your flow. Upward facing dog to downward facing dog. And again, the current. Now I inhale. Now I exhale. This is me today in this moment. Extend the left leg up long towards the ceiling. Back to that core work. Left knee to left elbow. Let it tap. And then inhale, left leg long. Left knee to right elbow. Let it tap. Little cross movement. Let it go long. Last one. Knee to forehead. Round your spine. Curl it in. Nice, nice, nice. Yes. Extend your left leg long. Good work, everyone. Step your left foot through for warrior one. Back heel down. Arms up towards the ceiling. Let your right heel, that's your right leg, the back leg, support you. You can lean weight onto your right foot. Use the edge of your right pinky toe to really ground it. If you were to look at your right leg and you can see your right kneecap lifted and squeezed, the right knee kind of dimples in, you know that it's supported. If you can look down and see your left knee is stacked over your ankle, you know you're in a good space. There's room to wiggle the ears away from the shoulders. Instead of letting your shoulders get smaller, thinking of them getting longer down your back. Just taking this moment to let it go quiet for a moment. Take an inhale, sit a little lower. As you exhale, start your back bend. Push the breath out and look back. This might give you room to take one more sip of breath in as you back bend. On your next exhale, release the hands down towards the floor. Step it back and travel for a flow. And I say, let's do that one more time, one breath, one movement. Just one more time. Warrior one on the right leg and left leg. For some, this would be a time to balance it with a child's pose. For some, this might be time to do a big core work. For some, if you want to do another chair pose. A reminder of freedom of expression. A reminder of mattering. How you move is important. When we get to move with ourselves in this way, we always get to be seen. When we get to be watchful from the inside, we always get to be supported. Take your time if you're flowing. Once you're finished flowing, we'll meet back in a child's pose. Or keep going for another maybe 20 seconds, give or take. wish we could give adjustments from the screen. Let's take a collective breath. Exhale the air all the way out. Take a big full breath in. And exhale, let it go. Great. Let's come on the tabletop from here, y'all. Tabletop, cat cows. Looking up for your cow, your pelvis tips up and head goes with it. Looking down for your cat, pelvis scoops in like a chip, head goes with it. Take one or two more. And they can be intentional without being restrictive. Okay, you can choose to get to a place, and you can also allow how you get there to be an ongoing, kind of present, progressive procedure. Something you're figuring out in real time. All right, we'll be back in the neutral tabletop position. Extend your right leg behind you. You can keep both hands on the floor. Just extending your right leg behind you. Point the toes, flex the toes, just roll it around a little bit. You might notice that your right hip wants to roll open. If that's the case, try to tip your left hip up instead. The left hip tips up, the right hip rolls down, okay? Look up towards the ceiling, and then bend your knee as if you're trying to see your foot above your head. All right, still trying to stretch your chin up, still trying to bring your toes up, almost like they could meet one day. Take one more inhale here. On your exhale, bring your knee to your forehead, round the spine. Just do your best to curl it in and get them to touch. We're only going to do one, no worries. Extend your right leg straight back behind you. Now the right leg is completely straight. Extend your left arm forward in front of you. Okay, there's a little bit of balance here. If you ever feel a bit wobbly, you can always tap the floor with your left hand and bring it back up. Tap it and bring it back up. Just get a sense of, okay, where is there a wobble and is there ability to stabilize it? On the other hand, you might not feel any wobble at all. And for you, it might just be simply lengthening. Can the left hand move far away from the right hand? Take an inhale, extend long, maybe even look up as you go up higher. Nice, and then release, hand down, knee down. Let that go. Roll it around a little bit, circle it out, circle the hips, circle the ribs, circle the neck. Put it in spin cycle, just give it a rinse, okay? Chill. Let's do the left side. Extend just the left leg behind you, both hands still on the ground here. All right, check in with yourself. What hand is holding the floor? Harder? Can the hands kind of balance themselves out? Okay. Look up towards the ceiling, bend your left foot above your head. Okay. Stretching the throat. Imagine your chin is trying to chase your nose. Take an inhale. And on your exhale, knee to forehead, round your spine, curl it in. Good, extend the left leg straight. Extend your right arm forward. And there's this kind of pulling sensation. The right arm is pulling away from the left is pulling away from the right. This is good, everyone. I see y'all. See if you can push the left hand down really well. Haley, your cat's fine. Keep your arm as high as your ears, your leg as high as your arm. Take one more inhale, reach up, go up. And on the exhale, release. Hand down, knee down, let it go. From here, tuck your toes, downward facing dog, push your hips up and back. And then look forward. Take a walk or maybe even a hop to the front of the mat. Forward fold. Good. Once there's the last chair pose, probably bring your hips down, arms up. Probably the last chair pose. Let's try to do it as if it was our final chair pose, finishing these chair poses out strong. Oh, a lot of people got cats. It's a cat community. Okay. Keep the chin a little off the throat. Keep the arms as high as the ears. Okay. And since the last chair, we're just going to make it a little bit dynamic. The hips stay low. You can bring the arms back. Bring the arms back and try to open the chest a bit more. Almost like there's a big breeze in front of you, kind of blowing you back. Good. Sit 1 inch lower if it's possible. Good. We're going to stand up tall. Inhale. Reach up. Arms up. Go up. Go back. And then on your exhale, release down and forward. Let it go. Pedal out the feet. Shake out the head. If you want to sway the arms out, you can sway the arms out. Okay, we've done a lot of like kind of closed hips, forward stuff. We're gonna start to open things up. Take an inhale, half lift, big breath in. On an exhale, let it drop. Step or hop back, travel for your flow. Up dog, down dog. Somewhat delaying the gratification of opening things today for the replacement of core work. The core should be strong and active now. We can start to open things up. Inhale, extend your right leg up towards the ceiling, right leg long. On your exhale, step it through between your hands. We're gonna take warrior one into warrior two. So you can bring the arms up and you can peel the arms out, coming into your warrior two pose. Okay, and this warrior two pose will make it a bit dynamic. So you can straighten your front leg, reach your arms up towards the ceiling. You can breathe in big there. On your exhale, you can sit back low into your warrior two pose. Okay, let's do that 2 more times. Straighten your right leg, arms go up, reaching high for something. And then exhale, sitting back low into that space in a warrior two. This is the last time. Imagine your arms like swords. Sweep them up long. Right, and then set yourself in for your warrior two, sitting low. In that warrior two pose, you can give it just a kind of a subtle bounce to feel where there might be buoyancy in the hips. And you use that to bring your hips underneath your tailbone, or your tailbone underneath your belly button. Kind of scooping your hips a bit, almost like a bowl of water. You want to keep balanced. From here, we stay low, flip your right palm up, reach forward, upwards, and then backwards, like you're painting the ceiling, going into your reverse warrior. We'll take one more inhale to really sit into that seat, really letting the ribs stretch. And on the exhale, cartwheel the hands down, step back, and travel for your flow. Upward dog into downward dog. Looks good. We'll do the same thing with the left leg. Extend the right leg up, left leg up towards the ceiling. Step it through between the hands. Come up for one, and then open up for your warrior two. Again, we're gonna find that dynamic space. Straighten through your left leg. The arms come up high to the sky. And then sit back low into that space in the warrior two. 2 more times. Follow it on your breath. Inhale to go up. And exhale to sit low. Last one, all at the pace of your breath. Follow it up. And then follow it back down. Give it a moment to feel for where the buoyancy is. Nothing necessarily locked forever here, just kind of rocking it into place. Again, just taking a moment to let it settle. Just give us a chance to see what still moves even when we stop moving. Flip the left palm up, reach forward, up and back for your reverse warrior. Paint the ceiling. On your next exhale, cartwheel the hands down. Step back, travel for a flow. This is another chance to move freely, one breath, one movement. Take it one more time, and I'd encourage you, if you have a practice that you've been really working on, if there's things that you can incorporate here that you'd love to incorporate, by all means, make it happen. Even in your space, you can trust the collectivity of it all. Your unique expression, valid, and also supporting. We'll be back in child's pose once finished. Wow. Okay, last little bit here. Let's take collective breath. Exhale it all the way out. Get real empty. Big full breath in. And exhale, let it go. You can look forward, shoulders on top of wrist, tabletop position. And this time with the right foot still on the floor, just extend your right leg backwards, okay? So the right leg, you extend it backwards, right foot still on the floor, okay? From here, the right heel spirals down and just reach your right arm up towards the ceiling. We're coming into a supported side plank, okay? We'll scale it from here. This feels steady and also challenging. Please stay here. If you'd like a little bit more extension and balance, extend your right leg up towards the ceiling. Right, float your right leg high. Flex your right toes to keep your hamstrings long, the back of the right leg. Right. From here, if you need a little bit more extension, reach your right arm forward. If you want to test your balance, close the eyes. Some of us might like to bind here, so you could bend your right knee and grab your right foot instead. Either way, you're always supported by the left hand and the left foot. Good. If you have your foot, start to kick it away from your shoulder. Start to open up space behind your right knee. Go for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly release. Hand down, knee down. Back in the tabletop. And we'll take it the opposite side. Left leg long. You can rotate your left heel to the mat. Left arm up towards the ceiling. Come into supported side plank on the opposite side. It's different each side, right? It's the same. It's labeled the same, but the experience is new. Float the left leg up if it feels in your practice. You can either extend the left arm or you could bind and bend your left knee and grab your foot. Up to you. Maybe the eyes are closed or maybe there's some spot on the wall that's keeping you anchored. We're going to go for 5. Gradually start to release. Hand down, knee down, tabletop position. Good. From here, tuck your toes, hips up, downward facing dog. Right. Looking forward in front of you, you can take a walk or hop to the front of your mat. Forward, fold. Take a half lift. Big breath in, long spine. And on an exhale, let it drop, forward fold. Inhale, reach your arms up towards the ceiling. This time your palms can press at the top. And we're going to do a little crisscross with eagle arms. So take your right arm and bring it underneath your left arm, crossing at your elbows and wrists. If this is unavailable to you, you can always give yourself a bear hug. Right? Whatever you got, you can squeeze the legs together, a bit of a more narrow base, and then start to bring it around town. Circle out through your hips, spin it around a little bit. Just feel for some rotation. And this is also a good way to feel for your balance, hugging your inner thighs together. Right? You might tip one direction or the next. Good chance to really find some stability in the feet. You can tick-tock a little bit side to side. There's a little bit of a side bend here also when you do it in this way. We're here. I guess we might as well do eagle. Might as well. I don't hear any objections. Let's just sit low, come into eagle pose. Hips low, right leg over left leg. Let it wrap around. Again, either eyes closed or finding one point of focus in front of you. Keep pushing your right hand into your left hand and stay balanced. Your right hand pushed into your left hand. Lean the shoulders back, belly in. Go for 5. Go for 4. We'll go for 3. We're not going to let go on 1. We're going to stay for 2. On the 1, we're just going to grow it up into tree pose. You can unravel your arms, still standing on your left leg. Pick up your right foot, bring it to the inside of your left thigh. Avoid your knee, so you can go high or low with that. If you need to bring your foot like even closer to the floor for balance, you're always welcome to put your your heel against your leg. And your hands can grow in any kind of branches that make sense to your tree. Your region, your style, they could be wide, they could be narrow. Allow the whole body to take in breath the same way you might imagine a tree does. Kind of breathing, a tree breathes, taking in and releasing out. Taking in and releasing out. And almost like you could kind of turn the sound off for a moment. Just imagine it getting quieter. Breath in, breath out. Breath in, and breath out. Gradually, you can start to release. Bring your right foot back down to the mat. Just gonna bend it out a little bit. We'll take eagle on the opposite side. Arms come up for eagle. Take the left arm, bring underneath the right arm. Cross at your elbows and wrists. Again, you can just do a little tick-tock. TikTok, made me think of the app TikTok. Unrelated. Roll it around a little bit. Kind of sit the hips down, boogie the hips back. Lifting the chest, left leg wraps over. If you've never, ever in your life wobbled an eagle, you probably just got to do more eagles. Probably got to take more time. Everybody wobbles a little bit, like from time to time. A lot about how you get back up. A lot about where the resiliency is. If you feel supported in your practice to sit low, you sit low. You balance this by letting the chest lean back really good across the board. Nice. Maybe even roll the shoulders back one more time. That was Olivia, good. The right leg supporting you. This is your trunk. Okay, we're going to take this into our tree pose. Keep pushing the right leg straight. You can start to unravel. Left foot comes to the inside. If you're someone that has the hands together, what does the tip of the fingertips feel like against each other? Where does it feel like the right toes against the mat? What is the texture of your breath? If you're someone reaching the arms up, maybe you let that breath really open itself in the hands and the webs and the fingers. Imagining your hands could eject out of your wrist. Maybe you practice a little bravery today and close the eyes. Gradually, we take this down. Left foot, it's right. Put one hand on your hip, stretch the arm kind of like a teapot in both directions. Use your hand kind of like a guide to press your hips away. Then bring your hands to your lower back. Once you're at the center, give yourself a assisted back bend. And then gradually release forward, forward fold, let it go. Half lift, big breath in, long spine. Exhale, let it release, forward fold. Step back, upward push-up plank. Travel for a flow, upward facing dog, downward facing dog. Wow, time really flies. Let's come into standing on the knees. We're gonna set into our camel pose. Give it a chance at a back bend here. Bring your hands to your lower back. Hands to your lower back. Tip your chin up, nose up, eyes up. Start to scan the back of the room. Kind of go steady with your breath. Feel for your breathing in. So feel for your breath out. Encourage your hips to stay forward. And then when you're ready to release, start to steadily bring yourself out. Piece by piece, bring your hips to your heels. If this feels more comfortable to sit cross-legged, you're welcome to sit cross-legged. Take a moment right here just to feel for the breath, to acknowledge the time that we're taking. Really acknowledging the choice and the power behind that choice. It's always been easy to tune out. Right? Even more so now, in the comfort of our own space, this hour could just kind of went by. But really taking the time, scheduling the time, planning to let this time be something that is really intentional. Without maybe knowing anything past that is really powerful. If there's someone that you would like to send a breath to, that you physically can't reach in this moment. How good is that we got this yoga to send a breath to them in this way? There's a person, and that person could be the person that lives in your own mind, that can use a little bit of patience, compassion, and joy. How awesome is it that we have this practice to send it in that way? From where I am to wherever you are, let's take one more breath. Exhale the breath all the way out. Big breath in. And then exhale to let it go. You can open the eyes. You can bring your legs forward. Scoot the hips a little bit. Extend your legs long. Flex through your toes. Reach up. Reach forward. And keep that sensation of up and forward until you can't reach any higher or reach any more forward into this forward fold. This is a pose where you might choose to bend the knees. In fact, if your back is hurting, more than a choice, kind of make it a requirement for yourself to bend the knees and bring your chest closer to your thighs. And every time you inhale, allow this sense of lengthening. And every time you exhale, allow a deeper sense of folding. Even if you physically no longer see it because you've already reached kind of where you are physically, energetically, think of the breath, allowing a sense of lift, and allowing a sense of flow, allowing a sense of forward progression. Okay, we'll take one more cycle of breath. And inhale to lengthen, and exhale to fold. Good. Gradually roll yourself up, piece by piece. This is the best part. We're gonna do both pose. Okay, lift your legs up. Oh, what's up, Kat? I see you. Bring the arms up high. Press your palms together. Man, and then twist to your right. Let's hold for 5, 4, 3. Keep the knees together, 2. Come back to center. Or twist to the left. We're gonna hold for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Come back to center, separate the arms. Bring your knees and chest a little bit closer. And then lower, lengthen, and hover. Okay, we get to do that one 3 more times. Knees up to the chest, lower, lengthen, and hover. You get it, right? Go the other way, lower, lengthen, and hover. We're gonna do it 3 more times. Knees up to your chest. Exhale, lower, lengthen, and hover. This gotta be the last one. Knees in the chest, lower, lengthen, and hover. And we're gonna scissor kick one leg of the other for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release. And just give yourself a moment before you do anything to do nothing. Maybe even put one hand on your heart, one hand on your belly. This helps stabilize you into knowing that you've done enough. Feel your heartbeat. Feel your breath. Today you can keep your arms relaxed. You can keep your torso relaxed. Bring the sole of your feet together for a moment. Kind of in a passive butterfly. Let your knees fall apart. Just take a moment to open the hips there. Still feeling your breath into your hands. Still allowing your spine to relax on the floor. If you want to lift your head up for a moment, look down the center line of your body, kind of see how everything lays, and then lay your head back down. This might help you kind of pull some space out of your neck as well. We're going to be here for about 30 seconds or so, right? If you choose to stay longer in this pose, you are more than welcome to. You're welcome to let this pose kind of linger for a moment. Use this opportunity to see places in the body that have resistance. Try not to associate the resistance with negativity or something wrong. Just see what has a natural resistance, right? And see if that resistance gets to soften once it gets seen, once there's a little bit of awareness and noticing around it. If you'd like to stay in this pose a little bit longer, you're welcome to. Everyone else, you can bring your knees into your chest. You can give yourself a little hug, grabbing for opposite elbows, and a little bit of rocking from side to side. The knees still together. Drop your knees over to your left. Look over your right shoulder for a little bit of a twist. You can bring your left hand against your knees. Right? Kind of letting it twist here. Looking over your right shoulder. Either the right arm straight or kind of cactus. And bring it back and drop it over to the opposite side. Knees falling over to the right. Looking over the left shoulder. And then coming back to center gradually. And start to make way for our final pose here in Shavasana. Right leg out, left leg out. We're going to spend 2 minutes together Shavasana. It's currently 3:59. If you have the time to Stay in Shavasana. I'll cue you in about 2 minutes to come out. If you have time to stay longer than that, you're welcome to stay longer than that. As much time as you need to put yourself in a space to let the toes relax, the wrist relax, the back of the knees get to let go. Pelvis and navel and chest and shoulders get to ease up. Any grip in the hands and the fingers, starting to loosen it. Any grip in the jaw or the face from all the strong work you've done gets to settle. You can really represent for all the strong work you've done by giving yourself time to let go.
Give yourself a breath in. Give yourself a breath out. If you like to stay a little bit longer Shavasana, you can. Otherwise, you can start to bring yourself up. Find yourself in a seat that works for you. Still getting more acknowledgement. We got yoga people. We just want to keep thanking y'all for the way that you keep showing up as community, as we keep showing up as community, as things continue to develop, we'll continue to develop as a community. As I said before, if it's in your means to donate, now more than ever, it would be a good time to do so. The link is in the group chat. I'll copy and paste it one more time. Just scroll in. I got you. The biggest thing is, again, just thank you. Thank you for being here. Let's take one more collective breath. You can exhale it all the way out. Pull back in. And exhale, let it go. All right. Till next time. Catch y'all later. Have a great day.